Good evening, Mr. Daniel.
Good
Nice to
evening.
see you again.
Same here.
We're going to continue our discussion about living Hegel free.
Yes,
And today we're going to discuss about ego.
the ego. Yes,
Yes, that's a very basic human being.
yes.
Ego.
Hmm.
Please, Mr. Daniel, time is yours.
Okay. Well, I want to tell you that the ego is your enemy. That's the number one thing. It is your enemy. Um, it is what's the word that I'm looking for? Ego isn't confidence. It is the mask you wear when you are scared to be real. That's what the ego is. Let me read that again for you. Ego isn't confidence. It is the mask you wear when you are scared to be real. That's the ego. So don't think it's your friend. The ego is your enemy.
So it sounds like ego where people can hide the truth
Yes.
of themselves.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
it is. It's so many people get confused. They think that the ego is a part of themselves, but it really isn't. It's the enemy. It's the enemy within. It's the enemy that's overtaken the body. So that's the difference.
So yeah, that's so true. Sometimes we don't realize that the ego is taking over our personality
Yes,
and
yes.
is affecting the way we living our life.
Yes, yes. That's why I said it is your enemy. It is your and it's so important that for people to recognize that the ego is the enemy. And let me tell you one. Ego says, "I know everything," and wisdom says, "I am still learning." Ego wants to be right, but being right won't fix your relationships. You know, just you have to stop and think about that for a while. Think about all the arguments and all the back and forth, especially between the husband and wife. And the husband wants to be right, or he doesn't want to seem little in front of his wife, so he lies. He allows the ego to take over, and but it doesn't fix his relationship. Oh, starts to feel. Let me just say that one more time. It will keep you from apologizing, growing, and hearing the truth. And the crazy part is, the higher your ego goes, the smaller your soul starts to feel. And you know, these are things that we must really stop and think about. Every time we get into an argument with a wife and something, instead of maybe just keeping quiet or don't, you know, just let it go. We let the ego take over, and that prevents us from apologizing and saying, "I'm sorry, honey," or you know, just it's not that big of a deal. So that's what the ego that's what the ego is.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, that's right. Sometimes we have to put down our ego to
Yes.
fix things
Yes.
because it's not about when you are in relationship or whatsoever. It's not about who's right or who's wrong.
That's
It's
true.
about how to solve the problem and talk it out.
Yes, that's true. And most of the time, it's really no, it's not no big deal. And especially if you have a husband and wife, or a husband or that doesn't have an ego, or a wife that doesn't have an ego, it's even better when both of them are both ego free. If you have a husband and wife is ego free, you have a
Yeah.
very peaceful
And
home.
I think, of course, everybody, we are human beings. We all have ego, but we don't let ego taking over.
Well, that's true, but more importantly, we must learn to let go of the ego.
Yeah,
we must eradicate it.
yeah,
We just don't, you know, we don't. make it part of our lives. We don't want to invite it into our souls. That's what I believe in. So the more you let go of Hegel, the more peaceful, the more happy you would be.
Good.
hmm And what like letting go of the ego doesn't make you weak. It makes you free. You don't have to prove yourself. Just be yourself. And I think to me that's with so many things in life that is true because most people just go around just trying to prove something.
It sounds so good if we can all live in without ego. The world would be much better place to live.
Yes, yes.
Do you have any message for today?
Well, if I had a message, it will be simply, your ego wants to make you feel like you are the center of the universe. But remember, you are part of a much bigger picture. Humility is the gateway of true strength. That would be my message for today. Just be humble, be humility, especially with the family. That is so important. That is most. I think the ego is the one big thing that destroys a lot of families. The ego just gets in there and creates too much havoc. So I think that if you would have humility and just humility is a gateway to true strength. I think everybody will be all right.
Okay, Mr. Daniel. So always nice to talk about Hegel-free life with you, and hopefully we can continue.
That's for sure. Yes.
Yes. Oh,
Bye bye.
okay. Bye bye. Thank you, Mr. Daniel. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.